He is making his mark as the youngest motivational speaker. From an early age, he has been helping others through his charitable work at hospital, group homes, and charitable events. At age 6, it occurred to him that he can reach out and influence more people by connecting online. At 8 years old, he partnered with world's #1 motivational guru, Mr. Les Brown, and is the founding member of the Les Brown Unlimited team. He helps to encourage positive transformation by inspiring and motivating audience. He enjoys finding a balance between his speaking and acting careers. He is a motivator, educator, actor, model, science kid, magician, and more. He likes to entertain and has been performing on stage with many amazing people like Les Brown, Ona Brown, Omar Peru, NFL players like Frank Murphy, Ron Dixon, Michael Coy, and Lee Page. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome on our show, John.
Wow, that was amazing.
Did you like it?
I loved it. It was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John. John, you are known as an motivational speaker, you're known as an author, the youngest author, and then you're known as a magician, you are into stage, you are into movies, all those things. Tell me more about the book.
Well, my book, Be Amazing, is a step-by-step guide to help you to become the best, most amazing versions of yourself. My book shows you ways to neutralize your fears and set your mind towards success.
Wow.
Be Amazing is also actually an acronym for all the chapters in my book.
Okay.
Begin by believing and build on it. M, make a plan. It even takes you all the way to G.
Okay.
Good times.
Wow. John, there are a lot of people in the world and they have the dream to write a book. They reach in their 50s and there are some people who write their first book at the age of 50 or 60 or maybe after that. You have done that in a very young age. How do you feel? And what is that you would like to tell those who have that dream to write a book?
Well, success has no age limits.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Requirements. So therefore, you can have success at any age if you just stop looking at the things that fear you the most and stop looking and start looking at the things that help you more.
So now you spoke about two things. One, you spoke about the fear factor. The other one, you spoke about the success factor. Am I right? Most of the people, they don't go towards the success because the fear factor is bigger for them. Did you have any sort of fear factor when you were writing this book or while moving forward? Did you have any sort of fear factor that was stopping you?
Everyone has fear. There is no way to not have fear.
Absolutely.
Fear is a natural thing that everyone has. And fear is actually good for you at some time. Like you have a fear of falling off of something that's really rickety.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a good fear. But if you have a fear of zip lining through a forest when you already know it could hold a car, it's not a really good fear to have. One of my biggest fears was that no one would even see it. No one would do it. No one would believe it. And therefore, no one would achieve it.
Yep.
As the wise Zig Ziglar said, see it, believe it, achieve it.
Absolutely. As long as you can conceive it, as long as your mind can conceive, your heart can believe, you can achieve. Very
what
good.
I always do is when I'm about to do something that I have a fear of, Like, I actually had a fear of zip lining.
Okay.
And it was at my birthday party yesterday.
Okay.
And what happened was my dad helped me get through the fear. Sometimes you need someone else to help you.
Absolutely.
And what he told me was to sit down and relax. Hold on to the zip line. Everything is going to be fine. He let me go. And I zip lined across.
Wow. Congratulations. There are a lot of people, they don't seek help. Now, in your case, your dad was there to help you.
Yes, my dad was here to help me.
So you need to have people like your dad around you, am I right? What would you tell your friends, and what would you tell to my audience when they are stuck? What should they do?
Well, most people, when they have a fear of something, they don't want any help because they think they can do it on their own, and they really can't. Like someone who was scared of a cat because they had sharp teeth or something. And then another person showed them that if you're nice to the cat, the cat will love you.
Absolutely.
And that the cat will be nice to you. And so then you would overcome your fear of cats.
Absolutely. John, there are a lot of people, they are very much scared to be on stage. Now, I know I've seen you in the US when I came to Florida, and you were there on the stage, jumping up and down. Okay. You were not scared of being on the stage on public. What would you tell them how to get rid of that fear of being on the stage, especially people who would love to be public speakers? Now, you are a public speaker, so what would you tell them?
One of the biggest things that you can do to get over stage fright is to go and just do it. You know, that's one of the biggest things. Sometimes, actually, the first time that I went on stage, I was scared out of my mind. I was so afraid, I could barely move. But then, when I went up there and I spoke, the people were not eyeing me. They were not doing anything. They were listening to me. And at that moment on, I knew that everyone is equal.
Absolutely.
No one thinks they're better than you. No one's jealous that you're on stage. Everyone is happy to be learning from you.
Absolutely.
Everyone is happy. No one is upset. No one is mad. There's none of that. Everyone is happy.
Wow. John, you started with YouTube. You have a lot of videos on YouTube, and you started very young. Yeah. How old were you at that time when you started the YouTube channel of your own?
This will actually be crazy to you, but I started it at 3 years old.
My goodness, that's surprising. Well, tell me how did it all started? Yeah.
Well, I asked my mom if all of my friends could come over and do science experiments with me. She said no.
Okay.
No way. At that time, I had I mean a lot of friends. And to do science experiments and set up all of them would be a little bit tricky. And so I went back in my room crying. And then I came back out and I said, Mom. And she was like, no, we're not doing it. I already said no. If you want to cry, you can go and cry. But we're not doing it. And I said, Mom, just listen. And so I said, what if we recorded the science experiments and put them so that all my friends could watch them and do them with me? So my mom was like, what are we going to do? Do CDs? Oh, yeah. And at that time, my mom had just discovered YouTube.
Okay.
And so we posted my first video. And then we posted my next one, and then my next one, and my next one. You know, and then I started to make series. Like, learning is fun. How do you do it?
Okay.
Beyond the classroom.
Oh, wow.
Many of them. And all I wanted to do is, at that time when I actually started to make the series, is I was 5. I wanted to help everyone to learn, to better themselves, to help themselves to do better. You know, 'cause most people, they just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that stops people.
Sure.
They don't know how to do it. And so that's another reason why you need to have someone with you.
I do agree.
Yeah.
Now, has there been any time that your friends or maybe your fans who came back to you and said, John, you really helped me change?
Yes.
Tell me, share that with us.
There was someone at an event, and this was her first time listening to someone speak.
Okay.
And I was actually the first one who was able to get up on stage. And so when I spoke to her, it really inspired her.
Okay.
It really helped her. And she was just so happy. And, you know, it makes me so happy when I see other people getting what they want in life and what they need. You know, some people, they don't have a house.
Yep.
Some people, they don't have enough money to get food. Some people, God is their only person as a friend. And that's why you need friends in life.
Absolutely.
You can't live life without having friends. You just can't. You know, I was actually born in a fatal car accident.
Really?
Yeah. Someone slammed into my mom's car, and she was stuck in the car, and so she asked for someone to call someone, and so her friend came, and my mom would have been arrested if her friend didn't help her to tell the police. Well, if she crashed in, if my mom crashed into the other person's car, then why is the paint all over her car? So then I got born, and I said I had 5 minutes to live, and my mom had 3 minutes to live. And my mom was like, we ain't doing that. No. I'm not living for 3 more minutes. You better get good doctors in here. And so now, as you can see, we are a lot better.
Absolutely.
So if her friend wasn't here, a lot of things would have gone wrong.
Oh, thank you very much for sharing that. I think most of the audience and most of your fans, they don't know this part of your life. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
John, tell me, as a motivator, what is next in your life?
Well, what's next in my life is, Well, my next event,
No. Where do you like to take your life?
I would like to take my life to the next level of amazingness. You know, I would like to help even more people. And that's why I wrote this book. Because I knew I wasn't going to be able to meet and speak to everyone. But I thought if I wrote a book, most people would read it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You are connected with Ona Brown, and you're connected with Les Brown. How did that connection help you or mold you to be such a wonderful human being who is sitting right in front of me?
Well, what happened was we were invited to an event with Les Brown speaking.
Okay.
And so we went to the event, and Les Brown was the last speaker.
Okay.
So I got to sit in a seat without getting to go to the bathroom or eating any food for 4 hours.
Wow.
And then finally we got a break, and then we got to sit in there for 4 more hours. And finally, Les Brown spoke. And you know, he really motivated me. I really wanted to meet him. And so I met someone while we were taking the break. And her name was Angie Tabio.
Okay.
And she told me about the great opportunity that Les Brown was providing to people who wanted to learn more and better themselves. It was the Les Brown Institute, the LeMat. And so I was really interested. So as you can see, I took that chance, and this is where I am today.
Absolutely. John, tell me 3 things that Les Brown and Ona Brown helped you. Point of very specific 3 things that changed your life. 3 very specific things which is very close to your heart.
One of the things that Miss Ona Brown did was she helped me to write my book. She was actually the one who came up with the acronym for Be Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Les Brown, when he said, shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll land somewhere among the stars.
Yep.
I knew what that meant. If you shoot big, you'll either land big or you'll land small. So even if you were nothing, if you shoot big, you'll at least get small. Another thing is that Les Brown, you know, he really he was the one who helped me to get on stage, and you know, he was the one who made me happy, and yeah.
Wow, excellent. What would be the 3 questions that you would like to ask to the audience so that they can ask themselves to become a person like you? Because there are a lot of people who have got those dreams, am I right? But they're very much scared of getting into public or maybe facing the truth, and they don't move forward. So what would be the 3 questions that you would like to ask them so they could ask themselves to get better?
Here are the 3 questions. Number 1, what are you doing with your life right now?
Wow, that's very strong.
What do you do with yourself? What do you do with your life? Are you loving to your family? Do you pay too much attention to work? What are you doing with your life? Another question is, who do you want to be? Not what do you want to be, but who do you want to be? Who would you like to be? Would you like to be someone strong, someone passionate, someone independent? Or would you like to be someone weak, someone clumsy? The third question is, are you chasing your dreams? That's the most important thing. Never stop chasing your dreams, ever. Your dreams can be your reality.
Wow. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. John, how do you take your magic? I know that you're a magician. How do you take your magic, your acting lessons, and then your speaking lessons, and then your writing lessons? How do you take them all together? And how do you put that into practice?
Well, one of the biggest things that you have to do is make sure that each thing is supporting each other. Like my writing is improving my speaking.
Yep.
To write my speeches.
Yeah.
That I will speak. And then my speaking is improving other things like my singing, because I'm using my voice and I'm speaking out loud to the audience.
Absolutely.
And my singing is improving my dancing. My dancing is improving my diving. And my diving is improving my tennis. And my tennis is improving my football. And you've got to make sure everything supports each other. You can't just have something and then a completely different thing. You have to have one thing and something that supports that. And then something that supports that, so that it can support the completely different thing.
John, since you have been very much closely associated with Les Brown, what is the 3 styles that's really amazed you? Les Brown style, because sometimes he cries. I've seen him, tears falls from his cheek, and he does all those things. What are the 3 things, this style, that really inspired you?
One of the things is how emotional he gets in his speeches. How much he tells his audience. How much he wants everyone to know what he's been through to get here, to speak to you. No one else, but you.
Absolutely.
Another thing is how much he laughs and wants to make the audience smile. And how much he wants to help everyone. And then another thing would be how much he just is so explosive, like spreading every last thing, like a seed from an apple. You pick it up, and then you throw the apple in your backyard or in your garden. And then when the dirt covers it up, the seeds will grow into a plant. If it has some water and it has some sun, it'll grow into an apple tree. And then the next apple will drop. Then it will grow into a tree. And then the next apple, and the next apple, and the next apple, and the next. Until you've got so many apple trees.
Absolutely. John, what is that you would like to tell to the audience? It's not an advice, but what would you like to tell them before we conclude?
I would like to tell them that you should never be afraid. If you're afraid of something big, like a real fear, you know that's okay. Like how not to touch a poisonous spider.
Yeah.
Or how not to stick your tongue in an electric socket. And so if it's a fake fear, like I'm so scared of jumping off a diving board, or I'm so scared that when I swim I'll run out of energy and run out of breath. Those aren't real fears. You know you'll make it. Other people have already jumped off that diving board.
Absolutely.
And if you can do it once, you can do it again. Be amazing. Please get my book, Be Amazing. And there you go.
John, thank you very much. It was an honor and pleasure to have you in this show. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, John.